Here we had a failure to reach a majority to approve. So in essence, it's like the reverse. There's a majority not to approve. But under the set of circumstances, once again, just because we're memorializing it, everybody who voted, I believe, should be allowed to exercise their right to vote to memorialize the resolution.
Thank you. With that, I will restart the roll call. Member Anuké?
Abstain?
Thank you. Member Mobley?
Yes.
Member Latour?
Abstain.
Council Vice President Eason?
Yes.
Mayor Warren?
Yes.
Vice Chair Jones?
Yes.
Chairman Holmes?
Yes,
Motion passes.
thank you. And we're at item number 9 now on the agenda.
Yes, we are.
All right. Memorialize resolution for case number 24-04. Sandra Fissler, 270 Elwyn Drive subdivision.
Mr. Chairman, this resolution will be carried to the next month, to the June 25th meeting.
Okay. June 25.
Yes.
Thank you. All right. That takes us to our first case. Case number 25-03, Gen LLC, 360 Alden Street, minor subdivision.
Chairman, can I intercede here for a second?
Absolutely, Attorney Wenzel.
Okay. Chair, I know we have Mr. Jenkins on this application, but we have the other application is forget the address, Main Street,
120 South Main.
right? With Attorney Cosby, which we are we're going to end up adjourning for tonight and relisting it for the June date. Is that correct, Ms. Reyes?
Yes, June 25th.
So if we could do that, Chairman, through you, if I would suggest we do that quickly. I know Ms. Cosby would love to stay on and watch Mr. Jenkins in action, but you know, maybe she has some briefs to write or something like that. So I would just ask, because it's just an adjournment, Chairman, if we could take that out of order.
All right.
I appreciate that, Mr. Wenzel.
I just want to give Attorney Jenkins, is that okay with you?
Yeah, I have no objection.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Jenkins.
Courtesy. So with that, I'm going to adjust the agenda and we're going to move to case number 25-06, Cotton Funeral Service, Inc., 120 South Main Street, minor subdivision.
So Chairman, I had Ms. Cosby is on, and just so the board is aware through you, Chairman, I've had conversations with Ms. Cosby, who has indicated that she was going to ask for an adjournment of tonight's hearing. There's a few matters that she wants to review with her client, and then return on the June date. Ms. Reyes, what is our June date?
25th.
June 25th.
June 25th. So if Ms. Cosby agrees with me that that is what she's looking for, then we would be indicating that this is the notice, and whatever notice has been sent out would not have to be repeated. And Ms. Cosby is going to do whatever she's going to do with her client between now and the June date, and we would see her back on the June 25th date.
That is correct, Mr. Wenzel. Thank you.
And so that is your decision, Attorney Cosby?
That is my request,
Very good.
Mr. Board President.
Thank you. And
Thank you
with
so
that,
much.
it will be adjourned until the June 25th, 25 planning board meeting.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Right. And if anybody, and just through you, Chair,
Yes,
if
no.
anybody is on with regard to this application, please know that that application is not going to be heard tonight. That application will now be heard on the June 25th date. You will not receive new notice with regard to that. This announcement is the notice. So if you're on for that case, please return on that date, and we will, that's the date that the board will proceed to hear the matter. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. So, and now we go back to case number 25-03. Gen LLC, 360 Alden Street, minor subdivision.
Attorney
That would be you,
Jenkins.
Attorney Jenkins, if you unmute. We'd love to hear your voice.
There I am.
There you
I
go.
thought I'd done that. Mr. Chairman, members of the board, good evening. Reggie Jenkins, Trank Isabel, Siddiqui, and Shadani on behalf of the applicant. I know Mr. Wenzel wants to hear my dulcet tones and speak long and into the evening, but actually I don't have much to say about this application. It's relatively straightforward. If the board may know, the property is at 360 Alden Street, and it's currently occupied by Orange Center, Orange Garden Center, where I know I've shopped, my wife has shopped and bought plants and shrubbery there. Through this application, we're playing a little bit of catch up. The property has been owned by effectively this applicant and has been operated by the garden center for quite some time. However, for whatever reasons, the things fall through the cracks. Although it's been purchased a while ago and it's been operated a long time ago, and I believe the city's tax records even show this as one lot. They were never consolidated at the time, zoning wise, for to show that this is in fact one lot. So all we're doing here this evening, and though it's called a minor subdivision, what we're doing is really talking about a consolidation. So we have the three lots, we're just combining them into one to reflect the reality of the current situation. And that's it. And this consolidation entails no other improvements to the site. We are not doing any curb cuts. This is not about putting in new buildings or anything like that. All this is effectively cleaning up the paperwork to reflect that these three lots are currently owned in common, that they are operated as this garden center, and they're already being taxed, as we believe, as one lot. So that's all we're asking the board to do, is just make the documents reflect reality. So with that,
Through you, Chair, if I could just ask Mr. Jenkins a procedural question.
Yes,
Sure.
sir.
So, Attorney Jenkins, you had indicated that the tax assessor currently issues one bill to these lots?
correct.
Okay, so for the tax assessor's purposes, they're considering these lots as one lot for tax assessment purposes.
Already correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you for clarifying that. I'm sorry, Chair.
And again, that goes back to what I said just repeatedly, is that for whatever reason, just this zoning and the lot consolidations has not caught up to what has been going on here for quite some time. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I have one direct witness this evening, Anthony Marucci, who has prepared the survey documents and the consolidation planning. He is, and he'll say through his credentials, he is both a surveyor as well as a professional engineer and I believe planner as well. So if we could call him up.
Okay.
Oh, there you are.
I'm here, Chairman.
Marucci. Our attorney Wenzel will swear you in.
Okay. Do you swear affirm to tell the truth to this planning board tonight?
I do.
Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
Anthony Marucci, Marucci.
Okay. And even though Miss Attorney Jenkins kind of teed it up, why don't we have your qualifications on briefly in the fields you're going to testify to tonight?
I will be as brief as I can. I have a bachelor's degree in civil engineering from in 1973 from Newark College of Engineering, which everyone knows today is NJIT. I served 28 years in municipal government from 1973 to the year 2001. I actually began my career serving the city of Orange. I was the assistant municipal engineer for 11 years, and then 2 years as assistant municipal engineer for the village of South Orange. I then served 2 years as city engineer for the city of Orange, and the final 13 years as township engineer for the township of Bloomfield. I am licensed as a professional engineer, land surveyor, and professional planner in the state of New Jersey. From the year 2001 till present day, I serve as the principal of my own firm, Marucci Engineering Associates LLC. So I've been around for a while. I don't know if Chairman Holmes remembers me, but I've been in front of this board in the past. Since COVID, though, I've been a little bit out of touch. I also recall Councilwoman Eason. It's been a while. It's been a long time.
I feel honored to be put in the same category as Councilwoman East.
Uh-uh.
All right, so Mr. Marucci, I'm sorry, Attorney Jenkins.
Thank you. Mr. Marucci, can you just, we've been teed up. If you can
Well,
just
hold on.
walk us through.
Go ahead, Attorney Wenzel.
Just Attorney Jenkins, just clarifying, Mr. Marucci is going to be qualified and expert in the field of engineering, correct? Or surveying?
Actually, if I may, surveying, because this is a survey that I prepared. So it's actually surveying this evening. There's no planning because there were no variances.
Okay, and Mr. Marucci, you would agree with me that your license as a professional land surveyor in the state of New Jersey is up to date?
Absolutely, yes.
Have you checked your email today? No, it's all right. I'm sure you pay attention to those things, Mr. Marucci.
Absolutely.
You didn't make it this far by not making sure you're up to date. So tonight, Mr. Marucci is testifying as a professional land surveyor and is qualified in that field.
And
Thank
this
you,
board-
sir.
This board will accept Mr. Marucci as a expert in land surveying, and your testimony will be limited to that as a land surveyor.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank
If
you.
I may share my screen. Hold on, I think,
You can try again.
go ahead. Yeah, that's the plan right there. Yeah. Chairman and members of the board, of the planning board, the subject property is known as 360 Alden Street. It basically has frontage on Cleveland Street, Alden Street, and High Street. And it's also bounded to the south by the Wigwam Brook and also the PSENG substation. So that entire property encompasses the Orange Garden Center. As was explained by Mr. Jenkins, the Orange Garden Center has been here for a very, very long time. The owners, the current owners, have owned this in different entity names since 1987. I will say for the record, I worked with these applicants since 1999. A number of years ago, there were houses along Alden Street. There were some houses along High Street, and over the years, Orange Garden Center expanded to where it is today by removing those houses, getting approval from the zoning board, and this is the property that's currently in operation today. Unfortunately, for whatever reason, on the current tax maps, it's shown as 3 tax map lots, Lot 2, Lot 3, and Lot 11. But they're all encompassed in one parcel, and my survey shows that this is one parcel. And I also prepared a legal description with meets and bounds to make it one parcel, and hopefully with the board's approval this evening, you'll approve the lot consolidation so that Mr. Jenkins can prepare the deed and encompass all of these lots into one parcel and one tax map lot number. And that's basically the case. There really is nothing more to add. Nothing else is changing. I received a couple of reports from your professionals, from CP engineers. Their report was dated May 1, 2025, and all they referred to was the fact that the application was complete. I received a report from the Nishwayne Group from Gerard Hazel dated May 15, 2025. And again, in his report, I'll just refer to the last page, where this is a legally existing non-conforming use. The proposed consolidation action will not exasperate any existing nonconformities nor trigger any new variances. And this is Mr. Hazel's wording. In his opinion, the proposed consolidation will not have an adverse impact on the surrounding area or on the integrity of the R2 zone as a whole. So basically, the reports are benign and in our favor. And I asked the board to approve the lot consolidation. And I'm here to answer any questions that your professionals may have or any board members may have.
And just one follow-up question, just for the redundancy of the record. I had stated we're not doing anything like adding new curb cuts or anything like that. This is, once again, just a consolidation.
Just the consolidation, no other work is being performed.
Thank you very much. So with that, Mr. Chairman, I have no further direct questions of Mr. Marucci.
All right, then I will open it up to any board member that may have any question for Mr. Marucci.
Do you want me to remove the share screen?
Yeah, it looks like we have no questions, so thank you for your testimony, sir.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I will have just make one point with regard to the tax lots, and I may revise what I said before. I know we have them as three lots. I believe and I had thought that the tax assessor was assessing them as one lot. I know that was the case with another property we have that may not be with this one. So I just wanted to revise the statement that I made to the board as well as to Mr. Wenzel. But even with that, I don't believe that changes anything that we were speaking of with regard to the merits of this application.
Okay, then we will hear from.
Through you, Chair, that actually kind of makes a little bit more sense to me that the assessor does not have it that way, which is only supplements the application rather than detracts from it, because
we had
more necessary.
a previous some confusion with how they were being treated, both as well as with some other properties. So that explanation kind of bled over into this, but we're still in the same boat. But again, I just wanted to make sure that that was clarified.
And Attorney Jenkins, just one question, I guess, for clarification. On the agenda, it says minor subdivision. Is that how it should be categorized, or? Okay, I see heads shaking. Okay, all right, very good. And with that, we'll go to our board experts. Mr. Hazel, are you available?
All right. All right. Do you swear for and tell the truth for the planning board tonight?
I do. Good evening, members of the board. Just to keep this as succinct as possible, I think Samarucci covered pretty much all the salient points of the application. This is a consolidation of the lots, and it's important to note that the activities of the business that do go on this site is seamless. There is no this happening on this side of the lot and this happening on this side of the site and things of that sort. It is totally seamless, and unless you're looking at one of the surveys, you would not know where one lot started and ended. I find that there is, again, let me just mention that this is a non-conforming lot, meaning that it's not something that's otherwise permitted in the zone. However, it does predate the latest zoning ordinance amendment, and so it is a legally existing establishment. And I find that there will be no adverse outcomes, adverse impacts from this proposed action. And so I think it's within the purview of the board to approve.
Thank you, sir. Are there any questions from any board member for Mr. Hazel? Seeing none, thank you. Next up, we have board engineer, Mr. Kahi Lane. And we'll let you get sworn in by Attorney Wenzel so that we can ask you any questions that we may have.
All right. John, do you swear affirm tell the truth for the planning board tonight?
I do.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. I will keep my remarks brief as well. The one thing I wanted to note real quick off the top, I do have a technical review dated May 16, 2025. And I'm seeing Ms. Reyes. Apparently, I did not get that submitted, so that's on me. That being said, it was extremely minor in nature to both Attorney Jenkins and Mr. Marucci's points. This is a fairly straightforward application. They're not proposing any changes. We're merely cleaning up some history. So with that, I don't have much else beyond that. Unless anybody has any questions.
All right, and are there any questions from any board member for Mr. Kahi Lane? What was the date of the report that you did not submit?
So I have May 16th.
May 16th. And can you briefly discuss how it differs from the May 1st that we have?
Really, all that's in it is there's a couple minor administrative items within the city's code that relate to these minor subdivisions that are not present on the current survey, but it's should the board approve this application, it's something that can very easily be done during resolution compliance. It's nothing.
Okay.
Nothing materially changes from them being included or excluded in our discussion tonight.
Great, thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Kahi Lane? Mr. Hazel?
So, Mr. Chair, I don't have a question, but I just I neglected to just bring to the board's attention that the date on the cover of my memo is listed as May 15th, 2023. That should be 2025, obviously, but the date on each of the consecutive pages is correct. So just wanted to make that clear on the record. Thank you.
Well, the garden center's been there for a long time, so. Yeah. Any questions for Mr. Kahi Lane from any board members? Seeing none, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Attorney Jenkins, would you like an opportunity to close after the public portion?
Yeah, I honestly, I don't think there's anything more that needs to be said with this other than we thank you for your time and hope that you see a way to approve this.
All right. Well, with that, I entertain a motion to open public portion of this application.
Motion.
We have a motion from Council Vice President Eason. Is there a second?
Second.
You have a second from Member Mobley. Are there any questions on the motion? All in favor of opening the public portion, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Is there anyone that opposes opening the public portion of this application? Seeing none, the public portion is now open. If there's anyone from the public that would like to speak to this application, please first turn your camera on, state your name, your address for the record, and any concerns or questions that you may have. Entertain a motion to close. public
Motion to
portion.
close public
We
session.
have a motion from Council Vice President Eason. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second from Member Latour. Any questions on the motion? Seeing none, all in favor of closing the public portion, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Is there anyone opposed to closing the public portion of this application? Seeing none, public portion is now closed. Attorney Jenkins?
Again, thank you. My closing was what I had said before. I think this is just straightforward. We're looking to clean up the documents and allow the garden to continue on its business unfettered.
All right, with that, I entertain a motion for this application.
Motion to approve the minor subdivision for the consolidation of 3 tax lots for case number 25-03 Gen LLC, 360 Alden Street with no variances.
We have a motion from Vice Chair Jones. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a second from Member Mobley.
Before you take a roll call on that, Chair, if I could just ask the Vice Chair if she would agree with me that as a condition of that approval, that the lot consolidation deed be transmitted to my office for approval before filing.
Yes, that can be added to the motion.
And can we also add the necessary changes, though minor, from Mr. Cahan Lane's report? Or is that necessary?
I think Mr. Kaline indicated that those are all things that could be taken care of in resolution compliance.
Perfect.
Attorney Jenkins is aware that that will be forthcoming, and we'll ensure that Ms. Kaline and I will ensure that that gets over to the proper parties.
Thank you very much.
So we don't need to make that part of the motion.
Okay.
And it's just my understanding as well, and I would have done it anyway, but with regard to the final deed documents, we would circulate those to the board professionals as well as to the tax department as well, just to make sure everything is both reviewed and harmonized, so nothing is automatically going out anyway.
All right, seeing that we have a motion and a second. Any other questions? Madam Secretary?
Member Anuké?
Yes.
Member Mobley?
Yes.
Member Latour?
Yes.
Council Vice President Eason?
Yes.
Mayor Warren?
Yes.
Vice Chair Jones?
Yes.
Chairman Holmes?
Yes.
Motion passes. Congratulations.
Thank you all very
Congratulations.
much.
And we're looking forward to Orange Garden Center to continue to flourish and blossom as it has been.
Thank you, as do we.
You like that?
I like that. I caught that. I heard that wordplay.
There you go. Very good.
Chairman,
Thank you. Congratulations.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Thank you all.
Hey, thank you, Mr. Marucci. Just for the record, Chair, I've worked with Mr. Marucci over the years. He's actually one of my inspirations why I joined the planning board, and he knows everything orange. He's taught me a lot about the Colgate and in the Seven Oaks section.
Oh yeah.
Yes. So,
Okay.
yeah.
He knows. That's for sure.
Lot of history in Orange, a lot of history.
Very much so.
Yes. Good to be on
Again,
the
thank
side of
you.
the table.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Take care.
Absolutely. Well, with that, we move to any old business.
None on my end, Mr. Chairman.
I do, Attorney Wenzel, I want to thank you for the rules of the planning board that you submitted to each.
New business, maybe?
No, this is actually going back to last week's, last month's concern that I had regarding the abstentions. And we're going to Rule 1:3 meetings. It's 1:3-4A. And this actually addresses more concisely what I was speaking of at the last meeting. When an abstaining member shall not vote on a memorialization of the resolution, abstentions are disfavored except for good cause. And that's the point that I was trying to get to, I guess. Because although a member sits through an entire case and hears everything and has no just cause or any kind of conflicts, but yet still votes abstention. That was the reason for bringing up that was my concern. Can you address that a little bit, Attorney Wenzel?
Right. So just briefly, all of you sit here today in what's known as a quasi-judicial capacity. What does that really mean? That you're kind of sitting like a judge over a case. So just like Mr. Jenkins presented tonight, he presented a case for a lot consolidation. You heard him, you heard his expert, and based upon the testimony provided, you rendered a decision based upon the facts presented to you and the application of the law. Now that sounds very formalistic, but that's really what you did. Okay. You hear these applications and you render decisions. The point of all that is that when an applicant comes before you, they expect to get a decision, whether it's positive or negative. So when a member abstains, in essence, they're saying that they cannot reach a decision. And that's not where the board should try to be, any board member, because you're in a position to say yes or no. It would be the same thing as if you went to court for a parking ticket and the prosecutor presented their case, you presented your case, and the judge says, well, gee, I don't know, I'm going to abstain. Well, the judge doesn't have that option, right? Everybody came to hear the judge's determination. So, and highlight the terminology here that abstentions are disfavored. Not that they're not allowed, not that they can't be done, not that somebody, can't have a belief that in that set of circumstances they're unable to reach a decision, but they're disfavored. So in essence, it's to emphasize to board members that they should be rendering a decision. And quite honestly, if the board member is not convinced that the application should be approved, then they should vote no. If the board member is convinced, but it, has maybe some reservations, well, they should be voting yes. And if they want something in there that makes them more convinced about something, then you hear it all the time. We talk about those conditions of approval, right? And those conditions of approval are really those things that you're seeking to place into an application to say, okay, we'll approve it, but you must do this thing. And the last case we just had with Mr. Jenkins we talked about putting a condition of approval that the deed be approved by my office. Meaning that, and in this case is no aspersion on Attorney Jenkins, who's, you know, I would even say if he were here, he's a very fine and highly competent member of the bar, and he would do it in any event. But the point of that is to assure the board that there are certain procedures going to be followed and incentivize a board member to vote yes under those circumstances. So once again, at the end of the day, the point of that comment in the bylaws is not to tell the board member, you must vote yes, you must vote no, or you must not abstain. It's to indicate that they should listen. Not that you're not listening, but the more important thing is taking all the evidence that's presented to you, say either I'm not convinced and vote no, or I am convinced and vote yes.
Because, yeah, as I stated last month, all of my training with Robert's rules and so forth, I've been informed that there are no abstentions. So that's why I brought the question. So thank you. That helps me a little bit.
Chairman Holmes,
Councilwoman Eason.
through you to Mr. Attorney Wenzel. And I
Yes.
don't know, he's acting out tonight because he's sitting in front of the White House. But anyway, I can't get that picture out of my mind. But anyway, being that we have that same issue with council meetings sometimes, my understanding is if there is a conflict or you feel you have a conflict, you can abstain from voting yes or no, right?
Right, and thank you, Councilwoman Easton, because I let me address that piece for a second. And I changed my background to something that's more New Jersey. This is actually Route 80. You see, there's no sinkhole. It's now
No
been
sinkholes.
fixed.
It's not 80.
No sinkholes. Okay. Sponsored. This message is sponsored by New Jersey Department of Transportation. So if a board member and it's slightly different. So Councilwoman Eason is talking about the council. That is a legislative body, which is different than a quasi-judicial body. The council has a lot more discretion to look at something and mold it and have discussions about it and then render a decision. Now, they're not expected, although you'd like them to say yes or no on something, they're not expected to vote yes or no on something like you are. The issue here, and to Councilwoman Easton's point about a conflict, and I had this discussion with one of my other boards. If you have a conflict, you're within the 200-foot distance. You have some connection with the applicant. You have some connection with one of the parties presenting. I know Mr. Latour was talking about his connection to Mr. Marucci. It was really in terms of his historical familiarity with Mr. Marucci. Not that, you know, it'd be different if you say, well, okay, I'm partners in a planning group with this other person. That's different. Okay. Those type of conflicts should be brought up prior to the application being presented. So if a board member has a conflict because of some interest in a party, the people presenting, the site, whatever it may be, that has to be brought up ahead of time, and that person needs to be recused completely. That person would not be on this virtual dais. They would be completely off. Now, they could watch because they're still a member of the public, but they wouldn't be participating as a board member.
But sometimes in cases that come up, the person does not realize they have a conflict until you get into it. So in those instances, I think the abstention probably is in line. Because, like, you know, somebody like with Mr. Latour, like, he didn't know that Marucci was probably, you know, in a different set that he was going to be on tonight. So sometimes if you feel like that things come up in the discussion and you all of a sudden say to yourself, oh, I got a conflict here, then it would be appropriate to abstain because you couldn't know that previous to the meeting. You follow me?
Yes, and I agree with you, Councilwoman. You know, anytime, and this goes back to that phrase that abstentions are disfavored. Okay, so and in fact, if you the whole clause is abstentions are disfavored absent good cause. Okay, so what's good cause? A conflict. So if that board member finds out, oh, I didn't know until now that this thing was there. Doesn't happen very often, but may happen. And that goes to Councilwoman Easton's point. When that does happen, that board member, yes, in that sense, that's the good cause to then exercise that abstention. But in essence, the point is, and this goes back to the chairman's comment, yes, in essence, the line that all of us planning and zoning board take is we do not want board members to abstain. It you know, because the applicant doesn't want you to abstain. The applicant wants you to vote yes or no. But if you do have a conflict, voting in that when you know you have a conflict is not a good idea in any way, shape, or form.
Thank you. That helps me tremendously.
So, Mr. Chair, are we going to approve the bylaws? I think Attorney Windsor did a great job. I read through them and I thought it was pretty detailed. So are we going to, do we have to approve them?
I'm going to move, Attorney Wenzel.
Yeah, so Chair, through you, procedurally, yes, the board should entertain, if there is a motion, the board should, in order for them to be valid, there has to be a resolution approving the bylaws. And then Ms. Reyes will have that in her files so that when somebody abstains, she can put it up and point at it and then ridicule the board member for abstaining. That's really our that's really our goal at the end of the day, is for Ms. Reyes and I to get back at board members and point to things and say you didn't follow this. That of course that's not really what we're doing, but the larger point is, by the way, because you have this gray area where you don't really have up-to-date bylaws, arguably that's not a good place to be. So you really should have current up-to-date bylaws.
Okay.
All right. I am in favor of voting on these, but I hesitate because when I first read it, it was I looked at it as for my information or for the board members' information only. So I would ask if we could hold off until the next meeting to vote on it so that everybody can have an opportunity to review it with such eyes as something that we are going to have to vote on.
I don't think that's a problem. I don't think that's a problem. I would just say, and I don't like giving Ms. Reyes homework, but I'm going to do it in any event. Through you, Chair, if Ms. Reyes would list this as an item under old business for the June date, I think that would be appropriate if that's where you're going, Chair.
Yes, absolutely.
And then ask the question, did everybody get a copy? Because that Dropbox could be, it's driving me crazy, but I'm getting it. Does everybody have it?
Well, I was going to ask if it could be placed in the Dropbox for the June meeting.
It's in the Dropbox for this meeting.
I know,
I'll
but
place
we're
it
not
on the
gonna hear
June
it.
meeting as well.
Yeah.
And this is the final version without edit?
That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah, the one that Ms. Reyes shared is the final version.
That's June 25th, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
June 25, yes. So with that, is there any other old business? Is there any new business? I do have a new business, and I think member Mobley, but whoever needs to. I noticed that there's a parking lot being formed on the southwest corner of Central and Scotland Road. It looks like there's ambulances being parked in that. I think it was an old gas station at one time.
Yeah.
And I don't know who those ambulances belong to or what. So if Member Mobley or someone can take a look at that in the course of their business day, and we'll revisit it next month, maybe.
We'll take a look at that, Chair, but through you to Ms. Reyes, is that site approved for development?
That was going to be my next question, Chairman Holmes.
It's a difficult location to determine just by corners there.
All right, we'll take a look at it, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman Holmes,
Councilwoman Neeson?
can we ask Mr. Hazel? Mr. Hazel, what's going on with those two lots on the corner of Central Avenue? There's one on the, what is that?
The east,
west, and one
southeast,
on the west side of
southeast, and
Scotland Road. So we're not doing anything with those two lots?
You mean the one next to the liquor store?
one across, yes. And then the
there's
one across from White Castle.
Right.
Right on the opposite side of, well, as if you recall, there was the one that's what you're referring to, the one that's like the gas station and is now vacant. And so remember there was an application that got approved by this board for a multifamily dwelling on that corner.
Correct.
And the one next to the liquor store, I haven't seen anything coming there that's proposed there so far. I have been contacted a few times by a developer and architect asking questions about the zoning, and went through some stuff with them. So I know somebody is looking at it and trying to develop something, but I have not seen anything or heard of anything officially as yet.
Can we advertise that somebody needs to do something with it? Because he said, like he said, I noticed the emergency vehicles there. They're not operable, I don't think, the way they're parked. And it's another couple of cars there, a truck, something. So it's becoming like a junkyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
We'll have. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. My bad.
I was just going to say that we will have the zoning officer take a look at that.
Best course of action. Yeah.
Thank you. Any other new business? Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
We have a motion from Member Mobley. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Vice Chair Jones. Are there any questions on the motion? All those in favor of adjourning, say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Aye.
Is there anyone that opposes adjourning this meeting at 8:32 p.m.? Say aye. Seeing none, this meeting is adjourned. We'll see you all June 25th.
Hitting the ocean.
Good night.
Good night.
Very good.